In lesson 4.3, the target states, I can set up and solve a proportion using the cross products method. We're going to look at several examples and tackle word problems, one of the hardest parts of this target. Let's start out with an easy one. Proportion is two fractions or two ratios that are equal to each other. In solving proportions, we usually have one missing part of the proportion. And this is an easy one only because it's an equal fraction, and you probably can see what the missing part is. 2/3 equals how many sixths? So we would have a variable, some unknown. 2/3 equals 2 out of 3 equals blank, or x out of 6. To solve a proportion, we use the cross products. We cross multiply, and that's going to leave us with an equation to solve. 3 times x equals 2 times 6. So my expression creates an equation that I can solve, and it will give me the solution to the missing part of the proportion. So if I simplify, I get 3x equals 12. And if I divide both sides by 3 to isolate the variable or figure out what x is, I'm left with x equals 12 divided by 3, or 4. Now think about that. Does that make sense? Is 2/3 equal to 4/6? It is, because if I reduce 4/6, I get 2/3. Let's try one that's not so easy to see the answer to. P over 6 equals 10 over 3. We're trying to solve the proportion to find the missing part. So I'm going to cross multiply. Find the cross products. P times 3 is 3p. We usually write the variable after. 3p equals 10 times 6, or 60. So my equation is 3p equals 60. If I divide both sides by 3, I get p equals 60 divided by 3. So p equals 20. P equals 20. So 20 over 6 is equivalent to 10 over 3. That would be a proportion. Let's try two more examples. This is a hard one because I can't see mentally the answer. I can't use equal fractions to help me find the answer. But I can find the cross products and solve. I would get 7p equals 4 times 5, or 20. So to figure out what p is, I'm going to divide both sides by 7. So I really have to do 20 divided by 7 to find my answer. 7 does not go into 2, but it goes into 20 twice. 2 times 7 is 14. 20 minus 14 is 6. So we're dealing with a decimal. Add a 0, bring up the decimal point. 7 goes into 68 times. 8 times 7 is 56. 60 minus 56 is 4. Bring down another 0. We'll find the answer to at least the hundredths place. 7 goes into 40 5 whole times. 5 times 7 is 35. And I'd still have a remainder of 5 when I subtract 35 from 40. And I could keep it going. But p is 2.85. Okay, another example. It's going to help me think about a way to pre-simplify when you end up having to do some pretty big math. So I could find the cross products right away, and I'd have to do 10 times 28 and 8 times n. But I see that 28 and 8 have a common factor. I could reduce 28 over 8. If I divide both of them by 2, I get 14 over 4. I could reduce them again by 2, and I'd get 7 over 2. So I kind of rewrote the proportion. N over 10 equals 7 over 2. And all I'm doing is making the math on the end of the product simpler. I'm pre-simplifying so that my numbers stay smaller. If I find the cross products now, 10 times 7 is 70, and 2 times n is 2n. So my proportion is 2n equals 70. I would divide both sides by 2 and get n equals 70 divided by 2, which is 35. So n equals 35. Hopefully you can learn how to pre-simplify or think about reducing the fractions before you find cross products. Alright, let's try out a word problem. This is where it gets a little tricky, because you have to build the proportion to then solve the proportion to find the answer to the question. There are 12 grams of protein in 3 tablespoons of peanut butter. How many grams of protein are in 2 tablespoons of peanut butter? So when we build a proportion from a word problem, we have to decide how we're going to build the proportion, because we need to build both sides the same. I have grams and tablespoons, and I'm looking to find how many grams are in 2 tablespoons. So if I put grams of peanut butter on top of tablespoons on the left side, I need to do the same thing on the right side. So if I build my first ratio, 12 grams to 3 tablespoons, I'd have 12 grams to 3 tablespoons. And I'll just use some units to help us remember what's what. Is equal to how many grams, so this is the part I don't know, that's my question mark, to 2 tablespoons. So in this case I probably would put, how about G for grams. So I'm going to find the cross products. 3G equals 24. If I divide by 3 to isolate G equals 8. So this is a word problem, and it would not be a correct answer unless I specify what 8 is. It's 8 grams. So my final answer is 8 grams of protein in 2 tablespoons of peanut butter. If I wanted to put it into a sentence, 8 grams of protein in 2 tablespoons of peanut butter. Okay, now you try. Click pause and solve these 3 problems. One of them is a word problem, but I kicked you off by giving you the proportion. But you should read the word problem anyway and see how the proportion came together. Number 1, 2/3 equals what out of 36? Number 2 is another proportion to solve. Number 3, if 5 oranges cost $6, how much will it cost for 2 oranges? So I put oranges on top and oranges on top. I did not know how much it would cost for 2 oranges, so that's what you're trying to find. Good luck. Click pause, try these 3 problems, and when you're done, click play to see the solution so you can check your answers. Okay, here we go. Find the cross products. Multiply. To find the cross products, I get 3x equals 2 times 36. 36 times 2 is 12, carry the 1, 72. So 3x equals 72. If I divide both sides by 3, x equals 72 divided by 3. 72 divided by 3, 3 goes into 72 24 times. 24 times 3 would be 72. So x equals 24. Number 2, find the cross products. 9k equals 4 times 36. 36 times 4 is 30 times 4 is 120 plus, that should be a 6. 6 times 4, which is 24, so 144. The equation I need to solve is 9k equals 144. So to figure out what k is, I'm going to divide both sides by 9. So I have to do 144 divided by 9. And I'm running out of room, so I'll try to squeeze it in. I think I can fit it down here. 144. 9 goes into 0. 9 goes into 1 0 times. 9 goes into 14 once. 14 minus 9 is 6. Bring the 4 down. 9 goes into 64 7 times 9 is 63, so I have a remainder of 1. Bring down 0. 9 goes into 10 once. So I'd leave it at that. I could go another place value, but it's going to be repeating actually, I can see. So K equals 17.1. Alright, the word problem. If 5 oranges cost $6, how much will it cost for 2 oranges? Find the cross products. 6 times 2 and x times 5, I would end up with the equation 5x equals 12. If I divide both sides by 5, I get x equals 12 divided by 5. So I'm just going to reduce this fraction. 5 goes into 12, 2 whole times. 12 minus 10 is 2. So it's 2 2/5. But I'm talking about money with dollars and cents. 2 2/5 is 2.40. So it would cost $2.40. You need units. Dollar symbols, words, $2.40 for 2. That's all I'm going to write because that's all the space I have. How'd you do on these 3 problems?